The video titled Queen Camilla, the Wicked Stepmother, is so true. It explores claims that King Charles sacrificed Prince Harry to improve his and Camilla's public image following Princess Diana's death. It highlights how PR expert Mark Boland managed damaging stories about the royal family, leveraging Harry's teenage controversies to benefit Charles and Camilla. Key highlights include accusations of media deals, spin tactics, and Harry's portrayal in the press. The video connects these revelations to Prince Harry's memoir Spare and his ongoing critique of royal dynamics. So, see, here is one of the video, guys. OMG.
Drug use. Eventually, early in 2002, a sensational story broke about Prince Harry and some of his friends. The story, Prince Harry underage drinking, smoking cannabis, started here at the Rattlebone Inn in Wiltshire near Highgrove. It found its way onto the front page and 7 inside pages of the News of the World, along with a leader which praises the courage of a wise and loving dad. That's a reference to Charles taking Harry to a drug rehab centre to show him the potential error of his ways. So a very bad story for Harry had turned into a very good story for Charles. But is that what actually happened?
The story that appeared in the News of the World was not strictly true. It was stories that had been rolled into one to make a better story. The situation was the News of the World had been following Harry. Quite a lot of newspapers had been, but Boland was presented by Rebecca Wade with this story. This is what they'd got. And he then said, okay, listen, let's come to an arrangement here. And they spun it into a good story about Charles, recognising that his son had gone off the rails and doing something about it.
It is reported that he was confronted by his father, by Prince Charles. As a consequence, Prince Harry went just on one occasion for a couple of hours to a drug rehabilitation centre where he saw heroin addicts and saw the consequences of drug abuse.
And that was the line that found its way effortlessly into the public domain.
The way that Prince Charles and the royal family have handled it is absolutely right, and they've done it in a very responsible and, as you would expect, in a very sensitive way for their child.
This is a very difficult situation.
Well, I mean, I know this myself.
The visit to the rehab centre had actually happened 2 months before the News of the World came to.
Wicked. How Prince Harry was sacrificed to rehabilitate Camilla's image. The Channel 4 documentary Queen Camilla, the Wicked Stepmother, has reignited conversations about how Prince Harry was used as a pawn in a calculated PR strategy to rehabilitate Camilla from homewrecker to queen consort. At the center of this narrative lies a deeply troubling chapter in Harry's life, the infamous Harry's drug shame story. At just 17, Harry found himself at the heart of a damaging scandal. Headlines screamed about his alleged drug use, portraying him as a rebellious teen. But behind the scenes, this wasn't simply a case of media interest in a young royal. The story, as revealed in the documentary, was deliberately spun by Charles's PR team to shift public attention and improve Charles and Camilla's tarnished images. Harry was painted as a wayward son, while Charles was portrayed as a strong, loving father stepping into discipline and guide him. The reality was far darker. According to Insider, Harry had visited a rehab center weeks before the story broke, not as a punishment from his father, but as part of his own journey. However, this fact was twisted. Mark Boland, Charles's PR strategist, reportedly struck deals with media outlets like the News of the World, feeding them a version of events that aligned with Charles's and Camilla's redemption arc. The result, a deeply humiliating public scandal for Harry, but glowing coverage of Charles as a caring, responsible parent. This manipulation left lasting scars on Harry, as he later revealed in his memoir Spare. He felt betrayed by his own father, who allowed his son to be sacrificed on the altar of good press for the sake of Charles and Camilla's reputations. It was a devastating moment that highlighted how far the royal machine was willing to go at any cost. What's most troubling is how these underhanded tactics persist to this day. The royal institution continues to trade in the currency of good stories published and bad stories suppressed. The price, relationships shattered. We're talking about Harry and Meghan. They're doing the same thing up to this very day. Right? Reputations destroyed, and individuals, often those closest to the crown, sacrificed for the sake of optics. What's most troubling is how these underhanded tactics persist to this day. The royal institution continues to trade in the currency of good stories published and bad stories suppressed. The price, relationships shattered. We're talking about Harry and Meghan. They're doing the same thing up to this very day. Right? Reputations destroyed, and individuals, often those closest to the crown, sacrificed for the sake of optics. This isn't just a story about the past. It's a reflection of a system that prioritizes image over humanity. A system where even the king's own children aren't immune from exploitation. For Harry, this chapter wasn't just a betrayal, it was a breaking point. As the documentary sheds light on these events, it's clear that Harry's decision to step back from the royal fold was not just about protecting his family, but about breaking free from a cycle of manipulation and exploitation that he refused to pass on to the next generation.
Look at the PR campaign.
Chapter wasn't just a betrayal, it was a breaking point. As the documentary sheds light on these events, it's clear that Harry's decision to step back from the royal fold was not just about protecting his family, but about breaking free from a cycle of manipulation and exploitation that he refused to pass on to the next generation. Let us know your thoughts on this very deeply troubling revelation in the comments below. And don't forget to like, guys. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell for more royal insight. But this is huge, guys. It vindicates Harry. This is what Harry has been saying all along. This is why he got so sad at what William was doing, because William as well is playing this very devious game. When they suppress stories about William and Kate going through marital problem, when they suppress stories about William drinking, when they suppress stories about William being high and being very aggressive, and they suppressed those but highlighted everything about Harry and Meghan, trying to make Harry and Meghan the villain of the family and look bad. It is going on up to this very day. And I'm so happy Harry is putting a stop to it, because enough is enough. Just to let you see what has been going on, the manipulation, the documentary on Channel 4. Channel 4 seem to be doing some work here. They're showing what is going on, what the palace manipulation is. And these videos is going to shed light on what they have been doing to Harry, right? And I'm so happy they're coming out and they're talking about it.